What's going on, football fans? Today is Friday, October 20th. I'm Kevin Carroll. He's Joe Soprano, and we are TLSportsBetting.com, your one-stop shop for everything you're going to need for a great football weekend, everything you're going to need to get into the game, getting the action this weekend. A lot of good action this weekend. I know your Penn State Nittany Lions have a big one, Joe.
Big ball game out in the horseshoe, which isn't a horseshoe anymore.
Oh, I don't know. It was actually a horseshoe?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why they call it the horseshoe. It used to just be
people call things that don't make sense all the time.
No,
it gives it charm.
I guess I think they call the Carolina Panthers Stadium, the Vault, and it certainly isn't a vault. It's just a stadium.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't they just call every stadium the stadium?
Wow. Well, that's what they used to call Yankee Stadium.
The stadium.
Out at the stadium tonight.
Yeah. You can still do that.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. All right. Well, that's a great segue into our picks, I think.
Right. I'll go first.
You go first. Go first.
First of all, I want to apologize to everybody last week that took my advice and took Louisville.
Ooh.
Obviously, didn't come through, but let's not give Pat Narduzzi that much credit. First of all, he made the switch at quarterback, probably 6 games too late. I would think if he wasn't the dumbest man in college football, he would have done that earlier. And big hangover there from Louisville in that game from the big Notre Dame win. But moving right along, this week, I like the Duke-Florida State game. Duke is getting 14.5 points. I think that's completely disrespectful for a Duke team that's got a strong defense and might be getting its quarterback, Riley Leonard, back. Riley Leonard comes back and plays in this game. Duke might have a chance to win outright, yet alone covering 14.5. But I even think without Leonard, they're going to cover 14.5. They played very well against Notre Dame. They should have won that game. They had Notre Dame a 4th and 13. Dire situation.
Hartman escapes the pocket, though.
Yeah. They only rushed three guys. I could have run for that first down. And I don't know if anybody has seen me run. I'm not the fastest guy in the world, but I think I could have gotten that first down. I have trouble taking the snap, though, so I might have fumbled the snap and not won the game anyhow.
So you probably wouldn't have run for that first down?
Well, maybe if I was in the shotgun.
Okay, maybe if he was in the shotgun.
But I always had problems under center. But I like Duke plus 14.5 at Florida State this weekend. I think that's a good one.
I'm going with a team here that I've actually bet against this year and gotten burnt on. The Missouri Tigers. They are 7.5-point favorites at home against South Carolina. I think we were all kind of looking to see how they responded after that LSU game. That's a tough loss. They didn't cover. They lost outright to LSU in a game that they kind of were in control of for most of that. But they come back last week. They're 2-point dogs against Kentucky. They win by 17. They're about a touchdown favorite here against South Carolina. Their offense is one of the best in the country right now, one of the top scoring offenses in the country. Quarterback Brady Cook is, I think, top 5 or top 6 or 7 in the nation in passing yards. They are going to really, really test the South Carolina defense that has been giving up points in bunches basically every single week. South Carolina was a team that at the beginning of the year I thought they might be something. Spencer Rattler at quarterback, he looked pretty good for them last year. He's actually looked decent this year too. It's not their offense, it's the problem, it's the defense. But the way I see it, I think the story of South Carolina's season is going to be Shane Beamer breaking his foot, kicking something in frustration after the Florida game. I don't believe they ever specified what he kicked, so it's just he kicked something. He kicked something hard enough to break his whole foot, which sucks. But I think it's that kind of year for South Carolina. And now to have to go on the road into a tough environment and beat a team that's been really, really good and is going to be looking to finish strong the way Missouri is going to have to finish. I like Missouri here with the 7.5.
Well, I feel bad for Shane Beamer there.
Oh, no judgment. We've all been there.
But again, you're going to kick something. You got to make sure, first of all, the thing you kick is movable.
Yeah.
Because if you kick an immovable object, you're going to hurt your foot.
Yeah, that's physics. Yeah. We're not in physics class.
Yeah. But moving on to the NFL.
Okay.
First, I've got a little tidbit I picked up over the weekend here for sports bettors you might want to take into consideration if you're looking at playing any over and unders. The unders coming in this year in the NFL, historic numbers.
Oh, yeah.
60% and over. Last week alone, it was 12-2 on the under. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking, I don't like betting the unders because I don't think it's fun. But if you're looking betting the over and under, keep that in mind.
Cowardly football.
Yeah. Now, my game for this week.
Okay.
This is on Monday. I came in here and I vowed I'd never touch this team again because I swear to God, Jalen Hurts gets in the locker room every Sunday morning. He watches this video and then he says, "Hey guys, Soprano picked against us. Let's make sure we cover today. Last week he said, that SOB finally picked us. Let's tank this game and show him who's boss. Well, I'm going down to actually, the game's in Philadelphia. I'm going to take the Eagles-Dolphins game. The Dolphins are getting 2.5 points. I don't think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think the Dolphins win going away. Too much offense. I know the Eagles have a great defense, but there's too much speed on that team. That team can almost score at will on anybody. They may be the best team in the AFC, although our executive producer, Sam, might get upset about that. But he's sitting over behind the camera right now, guys, with a Taylor Swift jersey on because he's a big Chiefs fan. But I really like the Dolphins in this game based on just the offensive firepower they had and the continued schizophrenic play of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles defense also a lot of injury concerns as well, so you got to watch that as well. For my NFL pick, I'm going to go back to the well. Last week I had the Rams against the Cardinals. I think it was about a 3.5, 4.5 point line. They covered pretty routinely, although it was a little bit of a rough start. They ended up winning by 17. Today, on Sunday, they're at home against the Steelers. They're 3.5 point favorites, depending on where you get it. I locked it in at 3 in my column that was in today's paper and on tlsportsbetting.com. If you haven't seen that, check that out because there's more picks. In addition to what you're getting here, you're getting even more picks in that column. But I got the Rams here -3, and my reasoning is just that I don't think the Steelers could do what they did last week twice. They managed to sneak out against the Ravens with a win that just seems inexplicable the way they looked. I don't know what that says about the Ravens. For the Rams, I think that they're a bit more balanced offensively. The Ravens' offense is interesting. Like Lamar's obviously great, Lamar Jackson. And Zay Flowers, the kid they drafted from Boston College, pretty good. Mark Andrews, great. But it just doesn't seem like they're always locked in and cohesive. I think the Rams, especially with Cooper Kupp back, are a lot more of a cohesive unit. Kupp in his 2 games back, he's gone over 100 yards in both games. He finally found the end zone against Arizona last week. He went for 148 yards and a score against the Cardinals. Cardinals defense isn't great, but they played the Eagles the week before. The Eagles defense is good, and he went for 100 yards against them. The Steelers defense is good too, but Kupp defies defense. Like he's going to get his catches and his yards no matter what. And like I said last week, I think it still holds true that the emergence of guys like Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell means that the Steelers can't just lock in on him. They have to honor the rest of those guys. Matt Stafford knows who he wants to get the ball to. I think he's going to be able to move the ball with some success. I'm not saying they're going to hang a 50 burger on him or nothing, but I don't think they need to because the Steelers offense has shown absolutely nothing this year. I feel almost bad for Steelers fans. A bunch of my friends are Steelers fans. Najee Harris just not being that guy. Kenny Pickett just seemingly not being that guy. George Pickens is that guy, but you can't get him the ball. It's been tough sledding for the Steelers fans. I think it gets even tougher this week. I think the Rams win this one. I think it'll be close, but 3 points. I think it'll be about a touchdown game.
Well, you know who the Ravens' most consistent player is this year?
Ravens' most Justin Tucker, the kicker.
No, well, Justin Tucker,
the greatest kicker of all time,
or maybe former Penn Stater Jordan Stout, the punter. And when your kicker or your punter is your most consistent player,
it's bad news.
You've got some problems.
It's bad. It's bad news. I think the Steelers punter might be their best player this year again. Does not bode well for you. You have anything else for us?
No, I was going to make a couple of comments about the situation at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh and the sign stealing.
Please.
But from what I understand, he's already had somebody come here and look at all my notes, and he knows what I was going to say anyhow. So I'll just leave it go.
We love you, Jim. We're not. We love you, buddy. We're not. Please don't send people here. It's a long trip for them. Please don't send them here to hurt us. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up on that. Again, tlsportsbetting.com. Everything you need for a successful football weekend: picks, predictions, analysis, and insights. Again, you'll find my column there with a couple extra picks, including a pick from that Duke game. I have a pick there. You're going to want to check out the column to see what action I've got in that game. But yeah, tlsportsbetting.com. Just go there, get in the game, find everything you need there. Come back next week when we've both gone 2-0. Yeah, 2-0, two picks this week. We've both gone 2-0. We're gonna have a live one of those, those tunnels where the money floats around. I think we're gonna bring one of those in next week, and we're just gonna dance in our cash. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds like a plan to me.
It sounds like a plan to me. Well, thank you for watching, folks, and good luck this weekend.